Well, hello JPIC animators. Welcome to our sixth video of our reflections on the Capuchin JPIC Handbook. Now, before we start, I would like to share you this one. It's very attractive, isn't it? No, I think it's a gourd, a dried gourd that was converted into a container for food. It's very light, so it's easy to bring with you when you travel. These are often food containers that you can see in the peripheries. Depending on the place where you are, the materials also will vary. Some of them will be made of gourd, others will be made of coconut shells. But these containers, for me, this container for me reminds us of the work that we still have to do. It reminds us that we who work in JPIC still have many things to do. Because for me, this one symbolizes that we still need to provide equal distribution of food throughout the world. In some areas, the food is abundant, but in some areas, adequate food is lacking. And those who suffer most are the children, because children in their developing years need nutritious food. And when they are deprived of nutritious food, it affects their mental development, also the development of their body. These children will be the future leaders of their communities. And if we deprive them of adequate food or nutritious food, then those who will be future leaders of the communities will also not be able to lead their community well because of the poor mental development that they had undergone due to malnutrition. In those areas where the food is abundant, even the children also suffer from malnutrition, which is overnutrition. So there is really a need for us JPICs to be sort of like bridges for those who would like to share from their generosity to those who are much in need. The JPIC animators can make a big difference by sort of balancing the inequality of food distribution throughout the world. So that is one thing that we can reflect on, and that is why when I saw this one, I said maybe I should share this one also to all of you. Now we go to the topic for today. Yesterday we finished the Catholic social teaching. Now we will look at the relationship of JPIC to our Franciscan spirituality and charism. There are so many things that we can reflect on with regards to this, and what we will reflect on is something that is very close to the heart of our Father Francis. Due to our limited time, we will reflect on something that is very vital to our Franciscan spirituality, and that is the testament of our Father Saint Francis. Well, let's not waste time anymore, and let's go to the reflection. Okay, so today we will be reflecting on the relationship of JPIC with our Franciscan spirituality and charism. And one example that we can cite is something that is very close to the heart of our Father Francis, and that is the testament that he dictated just before he died. This testament, according to some studies, might have been written on September 1226 at the year of his death. And the message for me, in my personal point of view, I look at the message as sort of like a love letter of our Father Francis, not only to the brothers of his time, but also to the brothers for the generations to come. And it's nice, if I'd like to cite some passages on the later part of the testament. It says here, "And the brothers may not say this is another rule, because this is a remembrance, admonition, exhortation, and my testament, which I, little brother Francis, make for you, my blessed brothers, that we may observe the rule we have promised in a more Catholic way." So he made the testament with the hope that it would help us to be able to live the rule of life more closely. And it says here, "And let the general minister and all the other ministers and custodians be bound through obedience not to add or to take away from these words. No, so he would like it to be preserved as it is. Yes, I guess when you write a love letter, no, a very personal letter, you would want it to be preserved as it is, because it is an expression of what is in the deepest part of your heart. No, so you would want it to be preserved as it is, and let them always have this writing with them, together with the rule. And this is so beautiful. He wanted this letter to be always with the brothers. No? It's really an example of his paternal love for all our brothers. No? At the same time, fraternal love also to all our brothers. No? And in all the chapters which they hold, when they read the rule, let them also read these words. So it has been the tradition also in all the first orders of the Franciscan family that the testament is also read together with the rule whenever we have the general chapters. At the same time, you know, when the Capuchins had the Capuchin reform, the Capuchins were considered as the brothers of the testament, because the Capuchins made sure that the testament will never be separated from the rule and also the constitutions of the Capuchins. So this is one tradition that the Capuchins need to hold on to. The testament holds a very, very important place in the heart of our Capuchin tradition, our Capuchin charism. Now, what is the relationship of JPIC to the testament? Actually, when you look at the testament, at the beginning, right at the beginning of the testament, we immediately see the spirit of JPIC. Let me read this passage. It says here, "In this way did the Lord give me, Brother Francis, the grace to begin by doing penance. When I was in sin, it seemed too bitter for me to see lepers, and the Lord himself led me among them, and I showed mercy to them. And when I left them, what had seemed bitter to me was changed into sweetness of soul and body. And afterwards, I delayed a little and left the world." When you look at this, no, we can see here, no, the spirit of JPIC. We leave our comfort zone and we go to the peripheries. Saint Francis, after he was touched by the Lord, he left the comfort of his home within the walls of Assisi, and he went outside the walls of Assisi to the peripheries at the Church of San Damiano, which was ruined at that time, where the lepers were staying. And it is there that he started his religious life. It is there that he began his religious life. That is why it is also very important for us also, when we try to look at the Ratio Formationis right now, the Ratio Formationis is promoting that the JPIC should be part of all levels of the initial formation. It means that at the start of the formation of our brothers, our young brothers who are entering the order, JPIC immersion, being in solidarity with the excluded of our society, is a very important part of our formation as Franciscan brothers. So it is important for us to immediately at the start of our formation to immerse our brothers amidst our brothers and sisters who are excluded from our society. So this is the beauty of JPIC work. We are always constantly being encouraged to leave our convents, to leave our comfort zones, and go to our existential peripheries. There will always be people who are excluded in the society, in the midst of our convents, and there is a need for us to constantly go out. And it is important for us also to encourage our young brothers by encouraging them to accompany us as we go to the periphery. It's not only by letting our brothers to go to the periphery alone, but we, who are already a little bit longer within our Franciscan life, need to accompany them, to journey with them. Now, there's a certain beauty in it. For example, if you go to the peripheries and there is something that is difficult, a certain situation, maybe a little bit dangerous, when they see you also afraid like them, but you continue to do the work that you need to do in the peripheries, they find courage in you. They say, "Oh, my formator is also human. But despite his humanness, he overcomes this fear and reaches out and continues to be in solidarity with those who are excluded, to the poor. At the same time, what they see, they will sooner or later do. When they see the formator reaches out with love, with compassion, has the patience to listen to the stories that are being told to them by the people in the peripheries, the young friars learn. They learn by observing. They learn by the example of our brothers. So when you see, just from the testament, we immediately already have a source of reflection when it comes to living the JPIC life. So there are still many things that you can reflect on. Like, for example, in our next topic will speak of our constitution and our PCOs. Now, this will be another source of insights with regards to JPIC living. When you look at it, at the start of the Testament, JPIC work is already mentioned by our Father Francis. It means that really, what others would say that JPIC is in our DNA, it is true, because at the start of our formation, it's like when we are still being formed in the womb of our mother, which is the order that we have entered, this element is already being included into us. It is already in our genes. It is already in our DNA, even when we are still being formed in the womb of the order. So when you see, it is really part of our DNA, and it is really part of our spirituality and charism as Capuchins and as Franciscans. There's a need for us to really put JPIC in our initial formation. At the same time, you see here, there's the importance for us to reach out to our excluded brothers and sisters, and also to the environment, with this spirit that they are our sisters and brothers. And it is important for them to realize their dignity as sons and daughters of God the Father. Just as our Lord Jesus Christ reached out to them and brought them back to the loving arms of the Father, so also we, who are imitating and trying to live the gospel life through the example of our living, we also reach out to those who are excluded from the society, including the environment, and bring them back to the dignity of what they are, the sons and daughters of our Father, and gradually, hand in hand, we bring them back to the loving arms of the Father. Well, that's it for today. Hope to see you again in our succeeding videos. Until next time, God bless all of you, and may peace reign in our world. May peace reign in the world. Okay, bye-bye.